Hello, welcome to the Faster Course Guide. I want to take you quickly through everything we do at Faster so you have a quick overview and you understand what you could be getting yourself in for. So we have a 4-tiered training system. The Faster Coach and the Faster Specialist Trainer. They're to reflect where you are in the industry now and how much you want to learn. Our Faster Coach program consists of courses that are on a level for people who have just come out of their qualification or have been in the industry about a year and want to slowly dip their toe into function, movement and performance, injury prevention training. And so it's a really good grounding for our system. It's a really good way to see what we do. Contains lots of exercises, lots of strategy, lots of practical examples. Our Faster Specialist Trainer, that's about getting under the hood. That's about knowing movement in detail. This makes you different, very different in the industry, makes you very good in the industry. It's not easy to do. Modules 1 and Modules 3 of our two main specialist courses, Performance and Therapy, they will get you to work hard, think hard. In a second I'll show you some of the content and you'll see the detail that we go to. The Faster Training Expert level is where we start to train our tutors. So there's a good likelihood that you might be training with one of our Faster Trainer Experts in the future if you pick some one-to-one or one-to-group training. The Faster Training Expert level is invite only, and we take people from our specialist trainer level and we train them up to become a tutor for us. So it's very specific about the people who want to develop other trainers, and it's a great aspirational role to get to. We run it in a way that means you can run these courses yourself as much as you want, and it's based on a system where you work for you and use us for your material. So it's a great little system to help you to add an extra string to your bow once you've become good as a specialist trainer and you've learned our movement principles and everything we do inside out, and ideally challenge them all. Our Faster Course Director program is where we train you to write courses for us and then we help you launch them globally. That is invite only and it's very restricted numbers. This is probably only going to be a one-to-one taught course in the future. There's a few one-to-group courses occasionally pop up when we need to get our numbers up, but it's very rare. It's invite only, but I want it on there as an aspirational place to go. This is where we're going to help you become the star in the industry. Our Faster Training Experts are all over the industry now anyway. Our directors sit there with their own course. Our experts sit there teaching other people's courses very well. Our specialist trainers are working in sports conditioning. They're working at the top end of the field, whether that's in fitness clubs or as an individual trainer. And our Faster coaches are just great in their area. They're great with their kettlebell or great at their lifting or great at their assessing and moving, and so this system is set up so you can go to any level as long as you get something from it. So don't go, let me show you some more cool stuff. Here we go. Look, when we're teaching you, we use state-of-the-art apps to be able to produce our own movements, and we delve into the 3D graphics range. This is just an example of the foot doing its thing from the bottom up and the top down. We also use live Google Hangouts. You can see here we have a live Google Hangout where we're doing aerobic conditioning. It's part of a football program for MJ there, and you've got people in there from Thailand, Australia, UK, US, and so it's a good spread of people always on there. We then place these onto YouTube or onto our website so you can watch them, and it's exclusive for our people who've done their specialist course, one of them or all of them. We also run an online group. You can see sort of like the 6 people up there at the top, and we've got Rich there sharing a paper. This is a place where we share information, we look after each other. There's around 300 members across the two groups. We keep it small enough that everyone will get involved, but we keep it varied and big enough so that you can use this forum to meet lots of people. You can't get into this without an invite. you can't see this if you've not been invited in. We also teach live. You can see there on the right, that was our AFT performance course on the coach level. We were doing a group session using a course stick, and nearest us you can see one of our course directors, Mike, leading a group through this workout. On the left there at the top you can see just some of the slides that go behind us, teaching you all the different components online, all voiced over, just to give you an idea of the kind of movements and things that you'll get involved in. That's just a section from module 1 of 10. And then at the bottom there is just a little quiz that we devised when we were teaching a live course, and that's something that will reappear and we'll share with everyone after. So the learning's great. We push it out there, we change things, the learning's driven by you. It's a company that's so quick. If you decide you don't like a lecture, then within a week we've added another lecture or we've changed the one you fed back on. We want this to be your course. We have some things unique to Faster. So we take a train the human approach. We won't get into arguments on training styles because we believe they've all got a space. But we will get involved if someone is pushing the trainer's thought process onto the client and not allowing the client to find out how they want to move, where they want to move to, what that looks like, and how that should be delivered. We use a system called CSS, which is Coach, Sequence, Structure. And so we go into detail on how we coach movement without dictating movement, how we use clever pieces of sequencing to get movement to happen for us, and how we look at a long-term approach to structural change rather than just showing off with small, quick fix neurological tricks. When we do assessments, we're not looking at asymmetry. We look at what research tells us. So we go for habit identification. So if someone chooses a short range at a joint, we ask them to show us their long range. But we don't presume it's wrong. We just want to build their skills so that we know they can do all the movements that they might come across. And finally, we use fatigue movements to help us build what we'd like to change, what we'd like to work on. And we do make a presumption here. And we presume that if you're training and you get tired, then the things that change are the areas that you'll go into with less force. And they're the areas that might cause injury or might inhibit your performance. So this is our HMAC. This is how we sequence. Across the top, you'll see there's loads of letters on there. That essentially tells you every bone motion, every joint feeling, and every muscle reaction. And then below that are bones and joints represented in a spreadsheet. This form is horrible. People, when they get to this, look at it gone out. Once you know it, it's really cool, and it makes you a different trainer. It sets you above the rest. We use this in the middle of all our specialist courses. We link it to the coaching of skills that we've identified, such as changing direction, dropping vertically, locomoting, training intention, keeping the body rigid but able to move, training intention, keeping the limbs rigid but able to move. We associate those with the HMAC of the movement we want to improve, and we get a really in-depth, very precise, replicated movement that we turn to an exercise. This is a phenomenal way of helping you see these things, and this is something that people really struggle to master, but once they do, and they all do, then they are just a different level of trainer to everyone else. And we invented this, I invented this back at the start of the business, so back in September 2006, and it's grown and become the form that it is now. If we were looking at this movement on that form, and we were looking at the landing of the right shin on that movement, we'd say it moved forward, down, left. We'd say it went anterior, left tilt, left rotate. We do that bone by bone through the body, and we come up with what the joints were feeling, and that's how we use the HMAC to then work out, well, Did it do it or didn't it do it? And how could we make it happen? This form, which is going to jump out as a horrible form, but needs to be seen. This form here is the vague exercise list. And so it's a warm-up. And basically it takes you through a generic way of building some movements where you have the vagueness in there to help someone decide what those movements are going to look like, or to help you say, oh, I noticed when we got into the jumping component, then as you transverse jumped and transverse reach with your hands, then I noticed that you didn't perform so well, but only to the right, and that matched up when you lunged to the right and one leg balanced and reached to the right. And that's something that doesn't normally happen, so I can address that in this warm-up. We then go into our program design. This is our component of training the human. We know that movement affects energy, affects biomechanics and load, and affects the brain and the nervous system, and we know each component affects movement. So we don't look at them separately, we look at them as a whole, and that helps us build this, which is our napkin training card. And so you'll see here, this was a training card for a lifter. They believe they had some weak links to do with their right leg, which they did because of an injury. And they also had some body shape changing issues they wanted to work with. And this form, which we explain in detail on some of our blog posts, just helped us build that program for them. And then finally to say, because we do all this stuff, because we're creative with exercise, because we're lucky enough to have the best trainers always interacting, always feeding back on the courses, and always allowing us to rewrite the courses and make them specific for the individuals who are coming through, we also get invited to work on the latest products. And we're currently building education for all three of these products that you see in front, and we've been involved on the cutting edge of products around the industry for the last all the years we've been going. And so this has been a rush through, because I want you to go down, have a read and decide, and ultimately your decision is, how far do I want to dip my toe when I start? If none of the courses on here work for you, then just go through to our books link via the home page and have a look if there's a book there you might want to download and have a read of first, and then decide. I'm always happy to hear your comments. Just come and contact me on facebook.com/fasterfunction. I hope this has been useful. I hope you enjoy the videos below, and I hope you make a choice to come and learn with us. Thank you.